Hey guys, what's up? And I really need to figure out an intro with these because, I was doing sub, but I'm not sure I like it anymore. Anyway, I haven't done this in a hot minute. Just explaining my thoughts on a new movie in a YouTube video. Part of that is because I figured out Letterbox was a thing, and I've been doing a lot of my reviews for like new movies on there. Um, yeah, I would like it if you followed me on Letterbox. Thank you if you're asking. And so I haven't really been doing that. Well, no, I have been doing reviews on that and not on YouTube because I figured, what's the point? Extra work, you know. Um, though that changed today. Well, I mean, I guess you could say today. Of course, I did just do my Everything Wrong with CinemaSins Inside Out video, which I was expecting, to do okay. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's at 12,000 views or over that number, which I did not see coming. Which, I mean, thank you guys. I mean, obviously, can't thank you guys enough for actually watching it and, of course, liking it, subscribing, and commenting and all that jazz. Genuinely just means a lot if you're gonna tell. And of course you all figured out I did that video for the new sequel Inside Out 2. And I thought, like, actually have just gotten back from seeing it, and I thought, I could just do a review on it on YouTube. Like, I am sure you guys are wondering what I thought of the sequel. I mean, I mean, like, the Everything Wrong with videos are not my opinion on these movies. They're more so just explaining, okay, what you said about that movie is wrong. So if you want to know my opinion on the first one, I mean, it's great. I love it. Um, a 9 out of 10 movie. I'll look at my letterboxd. I have all the Pixar movies ranked on my letterboxd review. So I think, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, it's my fifth favorite Pixar movie behind, a few others. I mean, I don't want to really spoil it, but yeah, it's my fifth favorite Pixar movie, and so I was decently excited for the sequel. Well, Pixar haven't had a great track record with sequels. I mean, they've had really good ones, like all three Toy Story sequels, and what else? Is it just those? It might be. Well, I mean, I liked Cars 3. I want to say Monsters U, but that's a prequel. And then Finding Dory was all right, and the less said about Cars 2, the better. And yeah, that's all I see. I guess I was so not a great track record with sequels. So I was like, all right, I'm curious. Like I did say in my trailer reaction, out of all the sequels to a Pixar movie that I would want, Inside Out is my number one pick because there was just so much more you can do. Like, and I guess I didn't really explain my thoughts on the first one, but I mean, it's great. It's creative. It's the Monsters Inc. of the 2010s, and that final scene, where Riley opens up to her parents, is a tearjerker. So, anyway, this video has been going on for about 3 minutes. So actually, let's talk about the movie itself. Oh, if you're still here. Okay, Inside Out 2. I've just gone back from it. I was decently hyped for it, but I'm my hype level wasn't all the way up, like with Dune Part 2, which was amazing. So I went in with an open mind, like, all right, let's see what they'll give us. And I mean, I guess if I were to describe, I mean, with tiers, like good, great, okay, stuff like that. If I were to use any one of those words, I would definitely say good. I liked this movie. Yes. I don't know if I'll get into spoilers. I'll warn you if I'll get into spoilers. So when we get to there, so I mean, of course, general story is, of course, you have 1 year after the last film, where she was 12 there. Now she's 13. So, and all the emotions and are doing their daily thing, and she's doing really well at hockey, which is the focus of the whole thing. And this movie does focus more on the hockey aspect of her, And what else? So yeah, that's just the normal. Yeah, you'd expect that kind of thing. Like it is nice seeing Joy, like really embrace the other emotions as who they are. Like that. Yeah, that's how she ended in the last film with. She had the whole arc about, uh, accepting that sadness is just as important as her. So it's nice seeing her treat sadness nicely. I guess it's a weird way to. I'm saying that out loud. I'm hearing about how weird it is out of context, but what you gonna do. They introduced this new. I want to look something up. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, the movie introduces a new concept called this. What was it? Sense of self. Yeah, sense of self. Of where a bunch of ideas go down like under the abyss where all the faded memories go, and it would sort of form more of who Riley is. I thought that's what the islands of personality were, because I thought, wait, weren't those doing that already? But I guess the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess those were just specific personalities. The sense of self is like, okay, this is actually who Riley is as a person. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can buy that. And I guess I think I might have missed it, but I thought it was there the whole time. But like I read briefly on Wikipedia, I guess it was just been now created. So okay. And anyway, the inciting incident happens where the puberty button or alarm from the last that was set up at the end of the last film turns on, and puberty has hit for Riley. Now she's a teenager, of course, and you have the other emotions that we saw in the trailer. Anxiety, ennui, embarrassment, and envy. Yeah, 4 emotions there, and they all come in to hijack her. They also add this kind of funny thing where whenever the emotions touch the board, or the amount of that said emotion that Riley experiences is much more, I guess, exaggerated than it originally was before. So that's interesting. And and I'm not really good with keeping these conversations going. What else? So then, of course, Riley goes to a hockey camp with her friends, and she finds out that she finds out that they're actually moving to a new school, which devastates her, and definitely has an effect on anxiety. And she also has this. She's a big fangirl of this one hockey player, so she ends up going with her, and like the whole plot in the movie is basically she's abandoning her 2 friends to be with this new hockey player that she's been a fan of for, I'm guessing, a while, and anxiety ends up shutting out all the previous 5 emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, disgust. She shuts them all out, just puts them in a bottle, and like sends them into this new area called the vault. And also that original sense of self thing where Riley is like, I'm a good person, that is sent away as well. Because anxiety wants to create a new thing because she wants Riley to be a new person. And so eventually the original 5 break out, and they have to go and find the sense of self original so they can bring Riley back to who she was. So like that's the general premise and story of this movie, and without giving too much spoiler, like that's as much spoilers as I'll say right now. But again, overall, I did really enjoy this movie. Like one of the things I really liked about the first one was how creative and fun it was. Like they had so much fun with the idea of what would a person inside of a person's head look like dreams, like the way they would have dreams be like Hollywood, and like, okay, and they would draw, of course, okay, this happened recently, let's put that in the dream, like that's exactly what dreams are like. Like, stuff like that. And this has more of that, which nice. That's what a good sequel should do. You know, you have like they introduced this cartoon character who I originally thought was supposed to be a reference to like Dora the Explorer, but then I thought, wait, no, it's actually more of a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. You know, like, oh, Toodles. Instead they're like, oh, whatever that thing was called, I can't remember. Poncho? No, it wasn't that. And what I like about that is, of course, the fact that it's a show that's like deep inside her that she used to watch as a kid, but she still actually kind of likes, even though she's older. Like, you know, that's relatable. I feel like this movie was a lot more relatable to me, if I could use that word. Like, I mean, I have just come out of high school. Of course, I graduated like a couple years ago, so some of this is more fresh in my head. You know, the whole thing with anxiety. I'm like, yep, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. Like, oh man, and it's like anxiety has this whole thing where she wants Riley to be prepared for the future, which of course is not a bad idea, but she gets too, I guess, for lack of a better words, anxious about it. She gets too afraid, like, oh no, what's gonna happen? We gotta prepare for this. We gotta prepare for all possibilities. We gotta prepare for that, and of course that's pretty unhealthy. Like, you can't always do that, and that's something anxiety needs to learn. And like I saw this with my roommate and brother who live in this same house, and my brother pointed out that anxiety is sort of the joy in this movie. Like, Joy in the last one had this whole thing where she was like, no, Riley is only going to be joyful. She's only going to be happy. But that's unhealthy. She learns that that's not what you always need, you know? So anxiety sort of goes through a similar arc. Like, anxiety is not, you can't make that number one, you know? And they also and my roommate also pointed out that this movie has a panic attack, and it's done really well, just like in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is crazy because like we have now two animated movies in the 2020s that really nail what a panic attack is like. And so that's cool. And okay, and after a long bit of thinking about what else to talk about, I mean, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but that's all I can really think of to talk about. Oh, but I will say right now, without giving anything away, but the climax is really good, you know. Oh, and it's hard to talk about it without spoiling anything, but I would say the first movie's climax, that was a tearjerker. Second one, not quite as much. Like, I still felt the emotions. Yeah, I know the pun in there that I just noticed. Okay, but I felt what they wanted me to feel there. It wasn't quite as emotional, like, not as much, oh no, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, I still felt what they were going for. Yeah, so that's all I'll say about that. One other thing I've been thinking about too, if I had any complaints, which aren't too much, but the music, you know, I love the first movie's music, written by Michael Giacchino, one of my favorite composers. You know, he did Incredibles, he did The Batman, he's done some great stuff. His score in the first Inside Out is really good. He did not come back for the second one, which, okay, sure. Though, I'll admit, like, the original theme, you know, bum, 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 bum. I wonder if that's going to get a copyright claimed, but, that theme didn't play as much in this one. Like, they played it a couple times, but I was like, okay, I really needed it. Like, they played it at the end, and I was like, oh yeah, that theme didn't really play all that often, did it? So, I guess that would be a complaint there, but yeah. Yeah, I would definitely say, hey, this was a good movie. Is it as good as the first one? I wouldn't say quite as good. I'm trying to think. Like, I guess Cars 3 kind of sequel, because I like Cars 3, I just prefer the first Cars. You know, first Cars is more iconic. It's more memorable. It like I could watch the first Cars a lot more. I would say this similar thing here. Like the first Inside Out is just so good with so much to love about it. Second one, not quite as much, but there's still plenty to like there. That's how I would describe it. Um, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this an 8. Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and yeah, I would give this an 8 out of 10. So yeah, not too much else to say. That's those are my thoughts on Inside Out 2. Yes, I will probably do an Everything Wrong with CinemaSins when CinemaSins eventually does that movie. I can definitely see that happening in the future. Or so yeah, that's without any much to say, that'll be all. That's all, folks. Even though this isn't Warner Brothers, so that'll be it. Peace.